Welcome back guys. Today in this Adobe XD tutorial, I'll show you guys how to create this music player app UI. This is a two-part tutorial. In this first part, I will show you guys how to create this first screen and the hover effects and the soft UI using Adobe XD. Alright. For this design, I choose dark theme with soft UI. I also created a tutorial with a light theme soft UI, which you can find it in here. This is basically the playlist in here. We are going to design only two screens for this design. One with the playlist and the currently playing music, and the other one exclusive for the playing music, which you can see the music picture, and you can use the controllers to navigate through the music, or you can simply choose the next door previous music to play. Alright, I have this iPhone 11 size artboard in here. I'm just going to get the size. I will draw a rectangle to cover the entire artboard, and we don't need a border. I just go and fill a color, temporary color, and for presentation purpose, I'm going to design this in a larger artboard, and later for the prototyping we can use the exact size artboard, because when you design things, sometimes you need to show or present to people nicely. So that's the reason I choose to design these in a larger artboard. But the actual UI is not going to be like this in here with the shadow and stuff like that, but later we will work on that. All right, this is just for presentation purpose. Okay, first thing, I'm going to apply a corner radius for this rectangle in here. And then let's choose the colors we are going to use in this design. Okay, I'm going to draw a rectangle in here. And for this one also, we don't need a border. Select the fill color. And first, I'm going to apply a dark tone, not black, almost black grayish tone. So this will be our darker tone of black. And I'm going to copy one more rectangle from this one, Alt drag. And for this, I'm going to apply a lighter tone, lighter than the previous one. And next one, Alt drag. And for this, I'm going to apply, let's copy one more in here. And this one is going to be the darkest, so it's almost to the black. And for the next color, I'm going to choose orange, which is going to be our secondary color and which is going to be the highlight of our design. So I will choose orange, and one last color I will copy from here. And for this one, I'm going to choose a red color to go with the orange. So we will have a nice look and feel in our final prototype. And for the final color, I'm going to choose white, which we are going to use in the shadows for the soft UI. Alright, so let's add all these colors to our library. And I'm going to name them properly so that we will know what are these colors later on when we were using. And you guys can download these colors from the description below from my website if you want to use this color. I will put the final selected color in the link. And these colors can be edited later on also, so don't worry too much at this time. Alright, first thing, I'm going to apply a background color, just a gray color will do. And for this background, the actual UI background, I'm going to apply a gradient. I'm going to choose linear gradient, and for the one side, I will choose a lighter tone from our selection. And for the other side, I will choose a darker tone. Alright, so these colors look exactly same. So I'm going to adjust a bit in here. Don't worry too much on the colors, guys. We can adjust later on also. Okay, this look good. Now maybe let's go with little bit more bluish shade for this background color. Also, I'm going to make the background a bit darker in here. And you can add these colors to this color picker sample so that you can easily reuse them in later parts. Alright, this look cool. I'm also going to apply a stroke for this design. Just a gray color, and somewhere around here is fine, I think. And also I will bring down the opacity, and I think like this is good. This is too much. Yeah, this look good. And let's play with the opacity. With the shadow, in the final look, it will look great. Alright, okay. So our background is ready. Now, let's start working on the actual UI elements in here. First thing, I'm going to draw the currently playing music component. It's just going to be a circle with a shadow top and bottom. and the music track cover art in the center. This is a very straightforward design. So let's start drawing a circle in here. And for this circle also, I will keep the border and align this circle with the background. And for this border, I'm going to increase the stroke width to 2 and also the color to grayish and bring down the opacity. All right, this looks great. And I'm going to make a copy, but this time I'm going to make the second copy smaller. Control C, Control V, and let's bring this one smaller like this. And this is going to be a placeholder for our design. And I'm going to apply the orange color. This is where the album art is going to be. Okay, so this is the outside circle, and for this we are going to apply the soft UI elements. I'm going to copy and paste this large circle. You don't have to do that. You can straight away apply to the one you have selected. But for this example, I'm going to copy anyway. All right. If you guys watch my previous tutorial, it's really easy. And we don't need a border for this circle. Just select this one and apply a shadow. And for this, I'm going to select 10, 10. And for the blurriness also 10. Maybe let's apply 15. Yeah, this look better. And now I'm going to copy this, Control C, and I'm going to send it back. Now I'm going to paste the copied version again. And for this one, I'm going to select -10 for X and -10 for Y. And the shadow color, I'm going to change to a brighter color. Not purely white, because this is a dark theme design, so somewhere around here looks fine. Okay, and this one also I'm going to send it back. Okay, so let's have some text placements in here. I'm going to place the music title in here below the circle, and let's bring the size bigger, 24, and let's center it. You can choose any text you want. I'm just going to choose this one for now. And I'm going to apply a shadow for this as well. And for this, we don't need a huge shadow. So I'm just going to stick to 1, 1, and 2. Okay. And also we can adjust the opacity. Okay, this look good. And I will change the color to a grayish. I don't want white. Okay. And below I'm going to place the album details. So I'm going to copy the text from here. Alt drag. I'm going to type this one as album, just a placeholder, and I'm going to bring the text size smaller, maybe 12. And let's place it in here. Okay, good. Okay, so next step is designing the time tracker and the time controller. Just a rectangle in here, and I'm going to make the rectangle as a rounded cornered rectangle. I'm going to change the color to the gray color. I will choose from the selection earlier. And also I will change the border color to a darker gray tone. All right. Okay, this look good. Okay, so next step is I'm going to create a shyness to this bottom corner. Just a line in here, and this color is okay. We can apply a gray color, and I will adjust the size until the edge in here and the other side. This is just purely for design purposes. Okay, now it looks like it's carved inside the interface. Alright, next step is creating the timeline progress bar. This is straightforward. I'm just going to copy from this one, Alt drag, and I will resize it maybe halfway here. And for this, I'm going to apply a gradient also, linear gradient. And you can see the gradient is appearing vertically. We need to change it to horizontal. So let's change it to horizontal. And I'm going to apply the red color on one side and the orange color on the starting side. Okay, cool. Let's bring the size inside the background container. Just a little bit smaller like this. Okay, this will do. Okay, so next step is the controller where you can slide the music. Before that, let's apply this gradient to this circle as well. First, I will save this to color library and apply from there. And I will change the gradient position from here. Just, I think, yeah, this one look okay. All right. Okay, now I'm going to copy all the circle component and make it smaller and place it in here for the controller. Let's bring this controller to the front, and also I will make both these shadows smaller. Instead of 10, 10, 10, let's make it like 2, 2 or 3, 3. And the blurriness also like 3 or 2. Okay. Yeah, this look better now. Okay, so let's apply some timestamp to this bar. Now playing time and the full length. So I'm just going to add some random time in here. And I'm just going to copy this and change the time in here as well. Okay. Next step is play and pause button. For this also I'm going to copy from here. And then I will make it smaller and place it in here. Okay. And let's adjust the size of these shadows for both of them. For the bright one and the dark one, I'm going to make all of them 5, including the blurriness. All right. And let's place everything on top like this. Okay. This button is now in the playing stage, press stage. So we need to create one more state for this button, which is the idle stage when it's not playing. So let's create that button also. For that, I'm going to copy this one again, Alt drag. I'm going to select this small circle and make the opacity to 0. And the background bigger circle, I will change the colors of this gradient. I will change it to a gray tone, similar to the one we have choose for the background. And I think this is okay. And I will make one more copy for the other stage because we are going to create a component from here. We can choose the original one or we can just copy. Place the copied one underneath this button in the exact place. Select both of them and let's make a component out of it. Go to components and create a new component. You can name anything you want. I'm just going to name button in here. Okay, so our button component has been created. Now let's start creating stages. Let's create a new stage, and for this I'm going to say on, and let's use the default stage as the off stage and select the on stage and make the top button opacity 0 and go to default stage and check both stages are working. It looks like both are working fine. Let's also create the interaction for this button. Before that, let's create one more state. I'm going to create a hover state also. Pretty simple. Just go to the state and create a hover state. You can rename or you can just leave it as it is right now. And for this, I'm going to copy the background, the black circle, and paste it on top. And I will make the size smaller like this in here. Alright, so we have 3 stages which are different from each other. And let's create interaction for each of them. Go to the prototype, select the default state and trigger will be hover. Select hover and destination will be hover state, which is correct. And timing, I'm going to make it 0.4 second. Alright, so let's play and see our animation for hover state. Alright, so we have this cool animation in here, which look cool. Okay. So let's close this one. And I'm going to place this button in the exact place, which is in here. And we can delete the original button and place this one again on top. All right, let's create the smaller button. I'm going to draw a circle in here. And I'm going to apply a gradient for this one also, similar to the previous one. We don't need a border for this. And again, I'm going to make a copy and let's apply a shadow. For this one, I'm just going to say 3, 3, and for the shadow blurriness is 6, and place it behind. Make one more copy, and for this one I'm going to make X and Y to -3 and -3, and the color of the shadow also I'm going to change it to bright color, similar to the previous one in here. Alright, this look cool, and let's place it on the exact place in here. Okay, let's create a design for overstate also. I'm just going to copy one more circle from here, and for this I'm going to apply the orange gradient. Let's place it on top. Now we can create the states. Bring down the opacity to 0 for this orange circle. Now select all of them and go to component and create a new component. You can name anything you want. And now go to states and create a new state, hover state. And in the hover state, select the orange circle and bring the opacity to 100%. And you can make it smaller also. Then we will have that nice animation in the hover state. Alright, so let's create the interaction also. Go to prototype mode, and when it's on hover, the destination will be hover and the trigger will be hover also. Alright, so let's play and see our animation. Now we have this cool hover animation in here. Alright, let's copy one more button for the forward playing button. Alt drag, okay, and align them properly. Keep equal distance and center it to the background UI. Alright, okay, so now I'm going to have just one more visual element for these buttons in here. I'm just going to place a circle behind these buttons, and I'm going to apply a darker black tone. Then it will give a bit more soft and realistic effect to this UI. So I'm just going to draw some circles and place it behind with black solid color. Alright, let's move to the top buttons. This is going to be very simple. Just a circle in here, and I'm going to apply a gradient for this one also, similar to the previous one, but let's make it a bit more lighter than the previous one. We don't need a border. Let's open up the fill, apply a linear gradient, and let's change the angle of the gradient. Something like this is good. Okay, looks good. Now I'm going to apply the shadow straight away for this circle. Activate the shadow, and I will make it 4, 4 and the shadow 6, and increase the opacity a bit, and make a one more copy. And for this, let's make all of them minus, and the color, same as earlier, make it brighter, similar to the other designs in the artwork. I think somewhere around here is fine. Alright, so we have our button ready. And just for this one, just to have an additional depth, I'm going to copy this white shadow, and I'm going to make the X and Y position similar to the black shadow. But the size, I'm going to make it very small, 2, 2, and the brightness also 2. And I'm going to place it on top of the black shadow, underneath the white shadow. Now we have some additional depth to this button in here, which looks cool, okay? And I'm going to make the gradient a bit darker also. Okay, cool. And let's make one more copy for the other side. And I think we are almost done with all the components for this screen. Let's design the button label icons or symbols. Then we are good to go with the screen. Let's start with the pause icon. It's really simple, just two rectangles next to each other. And just make it smaller in here. Yeah, I think this is okay. And I'm going to group them and just place it in here. Next, play button. I'm going to draw this polygon. I'm just going to turn it and place it in here. Just place them in here. Now I'm going to copy both of these buttons inside this button component. Ctrl C and double click the component and place it in here. Our play button will go in here, and pause button also will be in here. And I'm going to place it in the center like this. And let's bring the play button opacity to 0 for now, because now it's in the play mode. Now we go to the hover mode or idle mode. Let's go to the default mode, and this time I'm going to keep the play button 100% and the pause button 0. Now if you go and play, it will look something like this. Okay, cool. And for this demo, I'm just going to activate the on stage because we are going to show the prototype as its playing mode. Okay, so let's move on to the next button, which is the play next track button. This is really easy. Just a polygon in here and turn it to 90 degrees. And alt drag and make one more copy like this. And we are done. Okay, select both of them and make as one object if you want. Okay. And all of these, instead of white, I'm going to apply this gray color similar to this text color in here. And I will place this icon on top in here, and I will make one more copy and turn it around and place it on the other side. Okay, 2 more symbols. We are done with this front page. Okay, for this one, it's going to be very easy. Just 3 lines in here. For this also, I'm going to apply the gray color for the line color, and we can adjust this thickness of the line and rounded corners. I will make 2 more copies and distribute them equally in the alignment. Okay, this look cool, and we are done with this icon in here. We can make it a bit more smaller also if you want. Okay, and the other one is going to be the back button, which is also going to be similar, a line art in here. I'm just going to use the pen tool and line art to create this back arrow, and I will apply the same thickness and the color as the hamburger button other side. Okay. Alright guys, I think both buttons are looking good. Now I will convert both of these buttons into components, one here and one other side. Okay. Now I will create hover state for both of these buttons, and I will change the color of these lines to orange in the hover state. For both of them, I'm going to do the same. And similar to earlier, I will make the prototype. I will make an interaction, and in the prototype mode for hover, show the hover state, which is the yellow lines. Okay guys, so this is easy. And let's play and see hover prototype, and you can see the hover mode is working fine. Okay, for one last thing, I will copy the text from here and I will rename this one as Now Playing, which is the title of the music. And maybe let's bring the size a bit bigger like this and place it on the center. Okay guys, part 1 of this tutorial is creating the screen. So we have already created the screen with some interactions, and this look cool and all looks fine. And for the part 2, we will create the second screen, which you guys saw in here. And in the part 2, I will also show you guys how to create these interactions when you click how to show a second screen, all those things. Okay guys, hopefully you guys learned something new from today's tutorial, and thank you for watching. See you guys in the next tutorial.